Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to give you a February wrap up, just covering what some of my goals were for February and just some life updates overall of what I've been going through this month. For January, I did kind of like my yearly goals, and one of them was to get promoted on TikTok. So I wanted to talk about that first because I was super excited. One of the other authors on TikTok actually promoted me in like one of these big promotions where they were promoting like a few other indie authors. So that was really cool to see. That was one of my goals actually. And I had that set for September of this year. So I was kind of hyped to see my book being like shouted out on TikTok. So that was pretty cool. I wanted to start with that. Anyway, moving on to like the writing side of stuff. I have been doing some writing. I haven't finished the third book in the series yet. I'm in like the beginning of the third act. Well, I guess kind of. I'm almost in the beginning of the third act. I'm at like the very end of the second act. For the Belladonna Was Betrayed, Act 2 ended up being ridiculously long, so I'm probably going to end up cutting a lot. It's already 70,000 words, and I'm not even at Act 3 yet, so I have a feeling. I just have a feeling there's going to be some snipping going on when it comes time to edit that book. And then I'm also working on my Japanese mythology story, which is getting to be ridiculous. It was supposed to be a 10,000 word story, and this thing is now a whopping 24,000 words. It's getting to the point where it's a little bit ridiculous. It's just like stagnated a little bit. So what I did to kind of get away from it, because I really didn't know where to take those stories, and I think I needed just like a breather from them to figure out what I was going to do next, I decided to work on a story for an anthology, because I found out about this anthology that was going on through an author that was on TikTok. And I saw the due date and I saw the length and I was like, oh, I can definitely do that. So I ended up doing a short story, which was a fairy tale retelling, which is very in brand for me, very in genre for me. It's a dystopian fairy tale retelling. So I did a dark fairy tale retelling where vampires control society, and Snow White is actually a vampire. And the reason that everyone thinks that Grimheld is evil is because of vampire propaganda. And a lot of people have asked me to write more for the story, and now I'm tempted to like make it into an entire book, but I probably shouldn't do that. But I might do that. So that was kind of like the main writing project that I worked on this month. And then of course I'm still doing the big overhaul edits for Amy's Rebellion. I am now at chapter 12 for the edits. Or no, I'm sorry. I am now at the beginning of chapter 13 for those edits. So I'm getting there. I still have chapter 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I was hoping to be done this week. I do not think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be done next week. After that, it's going to go to my first editor who does developmental stuff, and that's going to go back to me, and I'm not going to have as much time as I want to edit it, but that's okay. And then it's going to go to my beta readers, who I think I'm just going to give them 2 weeks this time. I normally would give them a month, but given the situation, I think that's all I'm going to be able to give them is 2-3 weeks. And I think what I'm going to do to try to save time is, while it says my beta readers, I think I'm also going to give it over to my sensitivity reader. So that way they can kind of both be looking at it at the same time. And then after that, it'll go to the proofreader. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Anyway, publishing stuff that happened, aside from the editing, is I did a big promotion in the very beginning of February, the very first week. I did not plan it out very well, but I had a few sales, not as many as I would like. I think I ended up with a total of 55 sales for this month, which is a lot more than I normally get, but for the amount of money I paid for the promotion, it didn't break even. So that wasn't a great investment for me. So now I've learned my lesson, and I learned which promotion sites I'm not going to be using again. So it was a lesson in what not to do, I guess. Another big news I have for publishing is I did hire somebody to rebrand the covers for my Nymph's Revenge series. Not because I don't like the covers, I do, I love them, But I also know that they are not the most in genre covers. They're very like manga-esque, which I liked at the time, and I wanted it because that was just like what I wanted to do with my creative control. Now that I'm trying to focus more on like the business side of things, I think the better decision for me is to find something that's a little bit more like what you would typically see for a fairy tale retelling. So I'm doing like a typography symbol cover for the rebranding, and when I have those, I will do a video revealing the new covers for you. I'm not going to put them up on the store until I do the rewrite of the first book, though, of Roses Spellbound. I do plan to do a full overhaul of that book. Anyway, other stuff that I did this month, publishing-wise. So one of my goals every month is to work on growing my platforms. Right now, because I've realized that I can't manage all of my platforms, I really don't have time to be consistent with all of them. I've decided that where I wanted to put my effort was with Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. And I have had some pretty good results with TikTok. I started out with 134 followers, and now, because of a couple building things that I've done, like the author challenge, the 10K author challenge thing, I'm at 377 followers, which is awesome. I am hoping to hit 1,000 followers before the end of this year. We'll see how that goes. And then my newsletter, I've been working on growing, but the number did go significantly down because I weeded out all the people that were not interacting with my emails. I haven't done a newsletter clean in ever. So I went from about 1,500 to about 1,100 newsletter subscribers, which was a little bit like disheartening, but that's okay. And I'm going to keep working on rebuilding that. And then for Twitter, I've kind of stabilized. I had 2,564 followers in the beginning of January. Now I'm at about 2,660 followers or so. Instagram has shrank for me a little bit because I'm not really interacting, so people are just kind of unfollowing me left and right, unfortunately. I am trying to post on there. It's just not consistently like I was posting for a little while, which is okay. And then on YouTube, I did grow a little bit. I was at 56 at the beginning of the year. I'm at 130 something. I think I'm at 137 right now. So that's pretty cool. It's cool to see my YouTube growing, and I hope you all have been enjoying the content that I'm making. That is pretty awesome. I'm at 146. I'm sorry, I was wrong. 146 people. So some personal life updates. I applied to some MFA programs. I did hear back from one of the 3 that I applied to. Unfortunately, it was my top pick and it was a rejection letter. So that was a little bit disappointing. I still have 2 that I'm waiting to hear back for. One of them is in my home state of Florida, and the other one is over in Kentucky. I'm waiting to hear back from those 2. I'm hoping to find out probably in March. So that'll be in my March updates for you. And I've also been applying to like some virtual assistant jobs and stuff because I'd like to get away from doing teaching all the time and do like some more stuff that doesn't require me to be on camera 24/7 because I find it kind of exhausting to be on camera all the time. I enjoy it sometimes, but between doing TikTok, YouTube, teaching, tutoring, it takes a lot out of me. I'm definitely looking forward to doing some more like writing work and more virtual assistant type work. I did get one nibble, but it ended up being a little bit like iffy, the offer. So I don't think I'm going to take it. I'm going to keep looking and see if I have better luck come March. But that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel down below. And let me know, what did you end up working on in February? All right. Thanks. Bye.